You have a child who is deeply interested in a certain subject. Are you looking for a way for your family to do more things together in your homeschool? Or maybe you're just curious and want to try something new. Today I'm going to tell you all about thematic units or theme units and why you should consider trying them in your homeschool. When you think about theme units, you may think about elementary school or way younger kids, but it's not necessary that you think that way. You can use thematic units even with middle school and high school students. You just have to change the theme and, adjust the activities. But it's totally doable and it really can bring a lot more excitement and interest to your homeschool, okay? Maybe you have a wide range of ages in your homeschool, like I did. I had pre-K all the way through high school at one point. This is a way that your kids can all work together on things. You just have to make your theme more broad. For example, if you have all littles, you might want to do a theme of fish. Okay, and you're going to have a lot of great things to do with that. You can do fish art. You can go visit an aquarium. You can set up a little fish tank at home. You can watch Finding Nemo. There's just all these things you can do. But if you have older kids, you need to expand that theme a little bit. Instead of doing the theme of fish, do the theme of oceans. And that way your little kids can still do all that little kid fun stuff, but your older kids can do marine biology. And it still all fits under that umbrella of oceans as your theme. So make your theme a little more broad and you can fit in a wide range of ages, okay? Even toddlers who aren't school age yet, but want to be involved in your school day, you may not have some like that. I definitely did. They can be involved as well. Let's say you are doing an oceans theme. So you make sure to add in some toys to the play area that are on theme and put them in a special container and be like, this is your fish school stuff. This is only for school. And they will 100% think that they are involved in that theme as well. Okay, so how do you decide on a theme? Well, first of all, what are your kids interested in? If you're not sure, you can ask them. And I'm not talking about interested in as I like to play video games or I like to ride my bike. I'm not asking what you like to do. I'm asking you what you want to learn more about. And if your kids can't answer that question, then it might be time to open their curiosity up a little bit. Maybe it's time for a trip to the library or something like that so that you can let them browse through some books and think about what they really are interested in learning. Maybe you need to present them with a list of options. Like, here's a list of things I'm thinking about us doing. What looks best to you to learn about? So that's the question, is what do you want to learn about? And if they can't answer that, you're going to have to do some talking with them to get that out of them. But if they really don't have a clue, you just pick and start, okay? Not every theme you hit is going to be an award-winning with the kids. But that's okay because they are still going to be learning. It doesn't matter if every theme is their favorite or not. There are some other ways you can decide, especially if you have younger kids on the younger end of the homeschool spectrum there. If you've got like elementary to preschool, that's where you want to be. If you want to look at the calendar, because going by monthly or seasonal themes is really good for those ages. So right now it's January while I'm filming this. Winter is a great theme to do. And I am saying winter. That way it's very, very broad. Now you can put in snow, penguins, all of these things under winter. Could you nail down and just do a theme on penguins if your child is that interested? Absolutely. If they want to do a deep dive on penguins, by all means, go for it. But if you just want to keep it broad, you can just call it winter and hit everything you can. The Winter Olympics. Older kids might be more interested in that. Winter sports. What kind of things could they do? You could talk about the meteorological part of it, all the things you could just go under the theme of winter. And that's a seasonal thing. Later, you might choose a different thing. When we get near a holiday, you could do a theme on that holiday. So looking at the calendar and thinking about what's coming up is a great way to choose a theme. One problem with that is if you're relying on library books, teachers, all of them are, on a lot of homeschoolers are hitting up the same books at the same time. So you're going to have a hard time getting those penguin books right now because everybody's doing that in their classrooms. That was always my problem. But you can buy books too. Another way to look at it is to think about what movies might be coming out soon. We were in a book club for years that a homeschool mom friend of mine ran, and she always was kept abreast of what was coming out. And I remember that, oh no, I just forgot the name of it. Well, it won't come back to me. But one of the ones we did was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That movie was coming out. So we read the real book, but we usually read much, much larger books than that. But if there was a movie coming out in the theater, like we did Dr. Dolittle when the kids were younger, Dr. Dolittle was coming out in the theaters. And so we read the Dr. Dolittle book first, and then we went to the movie. We did that all the time. I cannot think of the name of that other one. Anyway, we did that all the time, and our book club was called The Book is Better. And our book club would stand out in the lobby afterward and complain about all the things that the movie got wrong. Sometimes we enjoyed the movie, but it was never, ever, ever as good as the book. But sometimes when there's a new movie coming out, that can give you an idea for a theme. Another thing to look at is what museum displays might be coming up soon. We've recently been to see the Terracotta Soldiers, which was really neat. So, hey, that calls for a theme on China, right? If you weren't already studying that in your homeschool, then hey, we're going to do a theme on ancient China or just China in general. And that's a great theme to do. Very, very broad and lends itself to little kid fun stuff and big kid learning. So that's a great one. Anyway, you can make your theme as long or as short as you like. Maybe your kid really, really loves koala bears. Well, you can choose to do a 1 week theme on koala bears. Maybe they'll love that. You can read a few books, you can do a few sciencey things, and just make it very short. Or you can say, hey, we're going to go all in and do a month-long theme on Australia. And then they're going to learn about a lot more than just koala bears, but it's totally up to you. Not every theme is going to have to be long. Not every theme has to be short. There's not a rule, okay? Some of you like a rule. You want to follow the rules. There isn't a rule. You can do a 1 week theme on something, and then you can do a month-long theme, and then you can go back and do another 2-day theme, and then you can do a theme that takes you 3 months. It's up to you, okay? Don't turn everything that your child expresses an interest in into a thematic unit, though. I do want to give you that little word of warning. If your kid suddenly starts telling you something they've learned in a book and they're kind of excited and you're like, oh, and your homeschool mom wheels start turning, I can totally make this into a theme. We can kill learning faster than the adults killed the 6-7 trend by putting ourselves into that. Hey, they just wanted to tell you something cool they saw in their book. They didn't want to dive into it for a month, okay? So be mindful of that and think about what they're interested in, but don't jump on every single thing they expressed interest in. Sometimes it's just good for you to come up with the theme and it be something that they don't know anything about. I remember when my oldest daughter was very little, she went to a 2-day-a-week preschool for a little while, and I told her, this week you're going to learn about space. And she said, "What, space, Mommy?" She had no concept. And at the end of the week, boy, she knew so much. It was just really fun. So sometimes it can just be something they don't know anything about, and you picked it, and that's okay. So what does doing a thematic unit entail? Well, again, you can go as big or as small as you want to. Some homeschool moms, usually us former teachers, really miss decorating a classroom and making bulletin board displays and all of those fun parts of our job. And so you might want to decorate your homeschool space to go with the theme. You can go all out. You really can. We did an ocean theme when I was a 4th grade teacher, and we literally turned our classrooms, me and the teachers around me, into the ocean, as in the ceiling was draped with blue cellophane, and then we had sea creatures hanging down at the different depths, and we had seaweed going up the walls, made out of paper, of course. And so when you walked in, you were in the ocean. You can do that. Or if you're not the kind of mom that wants to decorate like that, you can just make a small display on top of a bookshelf or a table. You can put, a trifold board with some pictures or information to get them excited, some books in a basket, and some little toys or neat things just for them to explore. Maybe you're doing oceans, you put a few seashells out and some books about the ocean and a fish tank. Boom, you decorated. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. So you can do a little display if you want. What else does a theme entail? Okay, games, if you have any games that go along with your theme, and that can be board games, video games, or playing outside games. Field trips. You got to think, where can we go visit? If we're doing the ocean theme, well, we're going to go visit an aquarium. Obviously, we hope we can, right? Or maybe just the pet store. If your kids are little, they're happy with that. So field trips are a great way to learn this. Books, 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 and more books. You need to go to the library. You might need to hit up some used book sales. Shop your shelves and pull out all the books that you already have that go with this theme. Again, your little kids are just going to want some books about fishies, and your big kids might learn about Jacques Cousteau. You pull out anything that goes along with your theme. You're going to want to do some experiments. This is a great time to get some science experiments in. Art projects, Lego builds. What can they build that goes along with the theme? Puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. That'd be a great thing to do as a family. Coloring sheets, those big giant coloring sheets they have from Cherry Creek Lane, I think it is. I've always wanted to buy one of those. If you've ever bought one, let me know how good they are. But they have giant coloring sheets that lay across the table that your whole family could work on. And your kids could color while you read aloud to them. So awesome. Or just big paper, and they could draw an ocean scene, actually. So get ready for that. Get some stuffed animals. We always used to say, what stuffed animals do you guys have that go with this? One summer, my sister and I did summer themes, and I'll tell you about that in a minute, but one of them was teddy bears. The girls were all little, and we gathered up every teddy bear we had in the house. We had quite a collection, and we set them on the fireplace, and then we had the books from the library that were all about bears, and boom, they got so excited seeing that little display, and I didn't buy anything. It's just all from our house. What else? Movies. What movies can you watch that go along with the theme? And that can be documentaries or just fun movies. And then experiences. What could you go do together as a family that goes along with your theme? Don't forget about cooking, snacks that are on theme, or maybe even a whole supper. That lets the parent who's at work all day be involved as well. They can come home and have an ocean-themed meal with you. And then at the end, your kids can do a presentation. This is great for public speaking experience, especially for the older kids. They need to do reports, public speaking, where they stand up and give a report so they can present at the end what they've learned about. That is an amazing thing to add in. So how do we plan all of this? Is it overwhelming to you? Listen, you can buy theme units ready-made, ready to go. And for you parents of younger kids, I'm going to give you a website in a minute that has so many themes ready to roll for you. But you don't need to buy them. You really can do this. You're very smart. I have my whiteboard here, and I have written ocean in the middle. Whatever your theme is, that's what you write. And then I need to think. I need to hit all the subjects. Oh, let me say something. You can continue your regular curriculum while you do a theme unit. Because if you've got older kids, especially high school, who are trying to get credit for things, you're like, look, we've got to finish this curriculum. They have to finish economics and world history and all of these things. I 100% get that. Maybe for those older kids, they participate in the thematic stuff on Fridays, or 30 minutes a day, or just every now and then. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. For little kids, you might do all of their learning through the theme unit. In fact, I would take advantage of that while you can. While you have little kids, do it that way. It's so fun. But if you've already purchased curriculum and you're like, no, I really, really want them to do this, carry on. Do the curriculum and make the theme be a Friday thing, or make it be just part of your day. You think about how you want to do it. It's up to you. All right, so are we going to hit all the subjects doing this? We totally can. Ocean very much lends itself to science. So over here, I'm going to write science, and I'm going to brainstorm all the things under here that we can do for science. You think about all the things for the theme that will go with that. What about history? Are we going to hit history? Oh, we definitely can. There are some famous oceanographers. For history, there's lots of different discoveries that have happened. We can absolutely hit history with the oceans, okay? Think about the history of seafaring. Oh my goodness, so much. Can we hit geography? Yes, definitely. So write geography on here and brainstorm what you want to do. Want them to memorize the oceans?